Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning who is actually a real Hebrew Israelite. And I'm doing this to clear up some things for you based on the video that I would have done earlier concerning the false doctrine about the Hebrew Israelites. Okay? Now the first thing you need to know is the Hebrew language is actually a language of symbology. It is not a language that you utter with the breath. Okay, so it's a symbolic language. And you need to know an Israelite is one who rules as God. Okay, and Israel come from Isis, Ra, and El. Okay, so it is you tapping into your God self and living your life on your own terms. But in order for someone to really present a message like what I am doing right now, it would take an initiation. And that initiation cannot be carried out by anyone outside of yourself. It would take place in a dream. And in that dream, you will be initiated into the mysteries concerning how the Bible was written and how it's supposed to be interpreted. And the reason for that, it is because everything works by law and order. And so if you understand the divine law of reproduction, you realize that every seed and every species must and will always reproduce after its own kind. So if, for example, someone would have read a lot of books and they become very knowledgeable based on reading, and they use that intellectualism to transfer their thoughts to another, it would be one intellectual breeding another intellectual and another intellectual and another intellectual and another intellectual. So one who has been initiated and is speaking from experience, which is true knowing, when he shares his wealth of wisdom and experience, it would be transferred onto others also who would believe and accept, even though they have not gotten the experience as yet. Then they themselves would have experiences also that will convince them of what they make a part of their life, or what has become their lifestyle. Okay, so it is based on knowing. So a Hebrew Israelite have nothing to do with the color of his skin. So a white man could be a Hebrew Israelite, a Japanese man could be a Hebrew Israelite, a Chinese man could be a Hebrew Israelite, a black man could be a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, as long as you've been initiated into the language of symbology, and you understand that you are God in flesh, not by theory, but by experience. And that is why many of us who are here right now on this planet, we've been here before, okay? And we are here to get the people to think and to accept their universal oneness, to accept that there is one universal consciousness. You see, sometimes people fail to realize that black people kill black people. White people kill white people. Japanese people kill Japanese people. Chinese people kill Chinese people. They are poor white people and they are rich white people. They are poor black people and they are rich black people. They are poor Chinese people and they are rich Chinese people. People are the same wherever you go. It doesn't matter where you go. They are all the same. And every one of us have certain biases within ourselves. For example, if I'm looking at say World Cup soccer, okay, and I'm speaking from experience back in the days when I used to be tuning into those things a lot more. Now I don't really, get caught up in sports and so, okay, except for, bodybuilding and so on, which I love. But when I used to watch soccer, whenever I see a team from Africa, I didn't care what country in Africa they were from. They played against another team. Whether they're playing against England or Argentina or Germany. I always used to watch the black team. I want the black team to win. So we have to understand and put ourselves in the place also of the white man. If you were white, you would have do the same thing. If you were ruling, you would have done the same thing. And there are people who argue, oh no, I want to do the same thing. No, there's a lot of people who look just like you who's full of shit. And there's people who doesn't look like you who's also full of shit. So you have to just learn to understand how to deal with everyone and their level. And that's why it's very important for me to speak on this kind of topic and to enlighten people concerning that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. And that everything is mental. All is mind. It's just based on how you think. And real slavery is actually mental slavery. For example, I've never accepted slavery because in a past life, I've been freeing so many people from slavery, physical slavery and mental slavery. And what I'm going to say here, many people might not believe me because it's not written in the history books, okay? But in a certain Caribbean country, which I would not name at this time, but if anyone who knows my spiritual name through my books, they would have an idea what I'm talking about. There was a fight between myself as a leader who was freeing his people and a white general. Okay, and in those times, we put one hand behind our back and we would backs. And the white general never brought any other white person along with himself. He brought with him a band of black men, okay, who were loyal and who would have sold themselves over to be slaves for the rest of their lives and also their generations. And when that fight took place and I knocked that man out, when he do catch himself, I hold his hand up in the air. And his men were shouting for victory and my men were shouting for victory. And both my men and their men were pointing guns towards each other because that's how we agreed on everything, okay? So no foul play. And those black men went back to the plantation with false news. And up to this day, that country have a division. That Caribbean island have a division up to this day. And nobody wouldn't believe what I'm saying. But I know exactly what I am saying. Because there are many who have sold their great grandparents sold themselves. And many of them still find themselves, can't free themselves, and they're blaming everyone else except themselves. What a lot of people need to do is to look back. See who you come from. Check out your mother, your grandmother, your father, and so on. And you will get an understanding. And so, let me say this also. There are many people who live in America, okay, and they're complaining about the system when the system wasn't built for them, okay? But they love it. They love the concrete jungle. Many of them have never even leave that place to go to the islands, to be around their own black brothers and sisters, to just see a different lifestyle change and so on. And many of them, if they come to this place, they will complain, hey, it's too slow for me. It's backward. That's what they might think. Because why? They love that lifestyle. So you can't eat your cake and have it. You can't go around playing the victim game and blaming this and blaming that and talking about slavery and try to interpret the Bible as if it is literal and secular history and using Deuteronomy 28. When you are not the lender, you are the borrower. Okay, the same people you're talking about, they provide you money, they provide you internet, they provide you a lot of things. Yes, you might argue and say, yeah, they stole a lot of things from us. You might argue and say, many times we had inventors too, but they would not name their names and so on. Yes, you don't always have that kind of argument. But at the end of the day, right, you have to accept that you have certain bias also. So my brother, my sisters, the most important thing I can say to you is learn to love yourself and believe in yourself. And do not believe in any division. Because religion is to divide us. Okay, and that's what they want. For us to argue among one another concerning right or wrong. But let me say this. The man who say I can't and the man who say I can't, both of them are correct. But at the end of the day, all I'm doing is teaching you to believe in yourself. And the choice is yours, whether you're going to believe in yourself or you're not going to believe in yourself. So at this time, I'm going to come to a close here because there's work that is going on around this area. So there might be a little bit of disturbing noise. Okay, because there's always workmen walking around here and other buildings. Okay, so I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram or you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you feel strongly to support this work, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and that the link is down below. Also, you can support this work by listening to the ads, okay? Also, I want to say that you can become a patron and support this work continually as we work together for the upliftment and the advancement of all of humanity. Doesn't matter your complexion or who you are. We are pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Also, I have a course for people donating $20 or more. It's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to create your reality consciously. And the sun shines up upon everyone. Whether you're black or you're white or you're pink or you're gray or you're yellow or you're red. It doesn't matter. The sun shines upon all of us. And the sun gives all of us its energy. Okay, and you're told that the Lord thy God is a sun, a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing has the sun ever withhold from all of humanity. And then you're told in Malachi 4:2 that the Son of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wing. So true healing and righteousness can only be found in you. And there can never be no S-O-N that can exist unless there first be the S-U-N. So look within and get in touch with the soul that is within you, which is your light body. And that will help you to tap into your creativity so you can use your creativity and your ability for the rest of humanity to benefit from your ability. So if you feel strongly to listen to our videos, I definitely encourage you to do so. At this time, I just want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.